how are you all? Elsa Morgan here, coming to you live from Melbourne, Australia. I'm about to actually go to sleep because I have to wake up in a few hours' time to actually start my speaker's journey. I'm actually starting my speaker's journey with the Higdon group, and I'm super excited for that. So tonight is a really quick live. 3 ways on how you can make some money right now. I know there's a lot of people out there that are definitely looking for ways to make ends meet. I know there's a lot of people out there that are currently hurting. They're struggling because, you know, they've had reduction of hours, they've lost their jobs, or they've been laid off temporarily. So tonight I just want to give you some 3 quick tips on how you can actually make some extra income. As you're hopping on, tell me where you're coming in from. Don't be a stranger, don't be a stalker. Tell me how your week's been so far. Quick story as well. It was such a great thing that happened today. You know, Wealth Wednesday for us. Every Wednesday we like to pay it forward. And Olaf had to buy some necessities, some essentials. So he skipped out, went quickly to Woolies, messaged me and said, fancy a coffee? I'll grab one on the way out. So he grabbed one on the way out and we had ours paid for. We had both of our coffees paid for. So then he went and paid for the people behind us. So it was just such a great story because, you know, he and I have been doing that for a very long time, where we regularly pay for people's coffees. And just so today the universe rewarded us, but of course we paid it forward. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. You know, if you do have an opportunity to pay it forward for anyone during these difficult times, I thoroughly encourage you. The world needs positive messages. The world needs goodwill. We all need to uplift and support one another right now. So whatever you can do to help the fellow man, please do. So very quickly, number 1, grab a pen and paper. One of the ways that you can actually earn some extra income is to sell your things, right? And you would be surprised at what's lying around in your house right now, gathering dust, that has the potential to be someone's treasure, right? So your trash could be someone's treasure. And I know Olaf and I did this right before we came back to Melbourne, is we looked at all of our things and we went, wow, there's so much that we really don't need to take back. Right? Even though we fully furnished our investment property, so all of our furniture is there because we've rented it out. But let me tell you, there is so much that people are looking for, and right now there's a lot of people that can't afford to pay full price, and they would prefer to look on places like Marketplace, eBay, all of that sort of stuff. Definitely look at you know, selling off some of your things. And one of the things that you should be looking at is how to reduce your credit card debt or any bad debt whatsoever. You should definitely be looking at potentially selling off some of those things that are just gathering dust. What have you got sitting around gathering dust? What outfits have you not worn that you could potentially sell on eBay or on Marketplace that someone else would find useful for right now, and knock off that credit card debt, right? So that's number 1. You can definitely 100%. I mean, we've still listed a few things and people are inquiring about it as well. And so we're looking at shipping stuff for people, because at the end of the day, obviously we can't step out, they can't come here and pick stuff up, but people are still buying. You know, just because people are at home doesn't mean that they're not spending. Yes, there are a proportion of people that have had their wages reduced or their income reduced in their household, but most people are working from home, and so they still have a need, they still have a necessity to buy. So don't underestimate your ability to be able to sell stuff, so that way you can make ends meet. Number 2, the other way that you can also look at making some extra income is by going to some of the outsourcing places, right? There's one that's called freelancer.com. There is another one that Olaf has used before. I forget what it is. I'll put it in the comments. But look at some outsourced places. It's like some people, especially now more than ever, will need help with resume writing, will need help with editing of, you know, their resumes or things like that. And there might be some companies that will be outsourcing some of their stuff that they might have other people do traditionally, right? Because the other people aren't available, right? So what skill set have you got right now that you might be able to contribute to the workforce? Like, editing or writing up resumes or just doing odds and ends for people virtually, right? You might be able to do some spreadsheets. You might be able to, create things, documents, edit photos, whatever it is, every single bit will help, especially if you need to make ends meet, especially if you need to knock off some debt. Any outsourcing places like that will definitely help you as well. So I will pop that website into the comments as well. And number 3 is definitely what I do. Have you ever thought about maybe doing a home business, right? There are lots. There's like over 1,400 different types of home businesses, right? Have you thought about making some extra income with a home business? And one of the things that you should be looking for with a home business is, one is the startup cost, but number 2, what are you passionate about? What is it that you love? Is there anything in particular that strikes you to be able to want to do that as well, right? So that's another way as well. Hey TC, how are you? And just a bonus tip, this is a long-term thing, right? I wouldn't do this as a short-term thing, right? Is you could definitely look at investing in shares. If you've got some extra cash lying around, don't just spend it. Look at maybe purchasing some shares that have dropped in value and look at keeping it long term. And those values will appreciate. Data has shown over time that whenever there has been any crisis, the shares will drop in value, but after 6 months they go up by 10%, and after 12 months it goes up by 15 to 20%. So if you can hang on to that, they will appreciate over time and you will have an increase in value. So that's another way that you can make money as well. I've just realized I'm losing my voice. I've just been on so many podcasts and lives and things like that. And so those are 3 tips, plus the bonus tip of obviously shares in terms of appreciating as well. And also, this is going to sound really, really funny, but I have found so many loose coins all over the place as well. I'm just letting you know. If you are someone like me that just tends to leave loose coins around, I would, be open to finding a jar and just putting all your loose coins and just save that money. Just save it and save it and save it as well. But yeah, so just to recap, number 1, what can you sell? What's gathering dust right now? What can you put onto Marketplace, on Facebook Marketplace or on eBay right now? People are still buying. Just because they're at home doesn't mean they're not buying. They're definitely buying. Look at Amazon. Amazon's had to put on an extra 100,000 staff to cater for the increase in volume, right? So what can you sell right now? Right, that's gathering dust. Have a look at around your house. And the aim would be for you to knock off some of that bad debt. Number 2, look at some of the outsourcing places. There are so many places like freelancer.com that people are outsourcing stuff right now. They need extra help. There's a lot of businesses that need help with odds and ends, like with documents. There's people that need help with resumes right now. People have been out of work that haven't had to do a resume for a very, very long time. They need help right now, right? There might be some households that need help with budgeting and, any sort of accounting work. What skill set can you contribute, right? And there are so many people out there that outsource their work. What can you add to your skill set that you might be able to make? What skill set can you add that, to be able to generate some income at home? And then number 3, have you thought about having a home business? There are like over 1,400 that you can pick from. And they come in all varieties, different startup costs, different products, different ways to actually do it. Have you thought about possibly adding an additional stream of income to be able to help you? And of course, the bonus tip is a long-term strategy where you potentially have some cash lying around and you can actually purchase some shares now. They haven't quite bottomed out, I don't think, but definitely over time they will increase in value. So I hope these quick tips, this is a really quick live because I am going to sleep. I'm about to start my speakers course in a few hours. So I'm gonna get some shut eye right now and start my speakers journey. I look forward to sharing with you some of the stuff that I learned tomorrow with you tomorrow night. But until then, have a great evening if you're here in Australia. Good morning if you're on the other side of the world. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.